The most relevant is this 45-minute chart. We left off yesterday establishing that 4C is finished. The market is broken out into a 1 and a 2, and we're waiting for that breakout into 3. This is moving in a leading diagonal, and therefore we will get to see a lot of negative momentum uh, spikes or some small negative momentum on the minute time frames. Bear with us a second. So we were saying earlier that this is moving in an ending diagonal, and therefore we get to see a bit of negative momentum on the shorter 5 and 15 minutes. Should be used to do the entry long. Let's take it now to what we're looking at today. So I was just saying we get a bit of negative momentum even on the 30 minutes. That 1 and 2 extended to 2A, 2B, and 2C. Remember, we're expecting it to finish here, and we have a breakout into 3, so it just did a bit more extension to do shoulder levels below the neckline. We're tied by the shoulder, probably tied by the shoulder levels to the left. Let's go over the labels together. This have been momentum segregated. There's a 1 and a 2, internal 1 and a 2, internal 3 and a 4, 5, high degree 1, A, B, ABC into 2. We seem to be having a bit of a small trigger here on the 30 minutes. We keep seeing these, but we're still waiting for the breakout higher. We're long at 192.70 and some of us at 192.20. So we expect at some point, if this is really a trigger that we're seeing here, we're seeing an internal 1 and a 2, and we're breaking out into a 3. We're just seeing a trigger on the dollar yen, and therefore probably it should feed into the sterling yen. Targets tomorrow are going to be resistance on the 30-minute time frame, 194.25 or 194.3. Let's take it live. So I'm looking at the 2 hour. Looks like we're even getting a trigger on the 2 hours. There's a bounce here, must be a trigger into a 1 and a 2. So we have the right labels anyway. Probably something like this should ensue. Of course, there's a forward shot, so it will show a higher target of maybe 195, but that is probable only next week. Most immediate target still remains 194.25. Let's take this to 1 hour to check for. Of course, the 4 hours is going to be very, I think, very positive and continuous. Take it to 1 hour. We may be getting a target there too. Take it to 30 minutes. We're still at the same. We had the trigger here, and it is still attempting to complete. $15. We have a trigger on the 15 again. We need to see a positive feed out of the 5 minutes, and we're not really seeing it so far. At least not convincing. Okay, so assuming we are getting 1 and 2, I believe we are getting 1 and 2. That one, I'm referring to that 1 and 2 in green here, Roman italic labels. So probably we are seeing this. It can take all the time it wants. I believe at some point it will take out the neckline, and at that point we're going to get cycle 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 5. So take out the neckline, and then we get another correction too on top of the neckline. So it's still going to take time. All right. So if we have other trades to do, we would just want to park a small portion of money in these trades. So assuming my capital is tied up, for instance, in Bitcoin at this point, or in trending trades like the Bitcoin trade, and another swing trade, for instance, in the US Tech 100, I would just consider to buy only one mini, 1.5 minis, and other breakout trades. These are, of course, breakout trades: sterling yen, dollar yen. It's important to park into the Swiss dollar. Very important to park really into the Swiss dollar. Actually, maybe more important than doing dollar yen. And if we're doing dollar yen, we don't want to do sterling yen, and the reverse is the same. Also, we don't want to be over leveraged, meaning we don't want to have too many open positions and too many issues, because this way we cannot do good trade management. It becomes distractive and becomes impossible to do correct pragmatic trade management to control your capital. So, in case someone is not trading Bitcoin, maybe we're about to have a breakout in the sterling yen, and the market, of course, becomes a buy at current levels 192.60. We already know that the hedge for this is shown here on this 30 minutes. $191. So it's about 160 points to the downside. Uh, but we need to have it at 191 below, of course, the shoulder levels, below level 3 altogether. The target is 194.20, 194.25 tomorrow. We don't want to hold it across the end of the week, so it's simply close by end of day tomorrow. And probably, if it is prudent, to do the trade next week.